In a small village nestled between lush hills,
lived a potter named Marco. He was renowned for crafting exquisite jars that were known to be as beautiful as they were durable. His workshop was filled with rows of jars in every shape and size,
each one perfectly smooth and meticulously painted. One day, Marco was hard at work, spinning a new jar on his wheel. As he shaped the clay, he heard a faint crack, like a distant whisper. A small line appeared on the side of the jar.
Marco frowned, his skilled hands slowing to a stop. He knew that even the slightest flaw could render a jar useless, so he set the cracked jar aside. Disappointed that his work was imperfect, Marco continued to make more jars, each one flawless and polished.
He didn't pay much attention to the cracked jar, which collected dust in the corner of his workshop. It was no longer valuable to him, and he planned to dispose of it later. Seasons changed, and the village blossomed with life.
Marco's jars sold quickly at the market, bringing him wealth and fame.
Yet, he couldn't help but feel that something was missing.
Despite his success,
there was a hollow space in his heart, a sense of unease that he couldn't explain.
One evening, a powerful storm swept through the village, bringing torrential rain and fierce winds.
Marco's workshop was spared, but the heavy rain caused the roof to leak, sending streams of water through the rafters. In the morning, Marco walked into his workshop to assess the damage.
To his surprise, he saw a small puddle of water around the cracked jar. The water had slowly dripped into the jar and spilled over,
forming a tiny stream that trickled down to the ground.
Marco looked closer and noticed something remarkable. Where the water had pooled, vibrant green shoots had emerged from the soil.
Over the next few weeks,
those shoots grew into a beautiful patch of wildflowers, bright reds, yellows, and blues.
They seemed to dance in the breeze,
adding a splash of color to the otherwise dreary workshop.
It was then that Marco realized the true value of the cracked jar. Its imperfection had allowed it to collect rainwater, which nourished the ground and gave life to the flowers.
What he had deemed a flaw was, in fact, a source of unexpected beauty.
The potter's heart warmed as he gazed at the colorful garden.
He understood that imperfection could lead to new possibilities,
and that sometimes what we perceive as broken
holds the key to growth and transformation.
From that day forward, Marco kept the cracked jar in a place of honor in his workshop. He would often show it to visitors, telling them the story of how something seemingly flawed became a source of beauty and life. It was a reminder that imperfections aren't always limitations.
They can be openings to new and wonderful things.